Okay, let's talk. This is something important and I'm sure relatable to all of my fellow creative types out there. What can happen when we let ourselves go too long without being creative? So please stick around until the end and we'll finish this video off with a new drawing to christen the new studio. It's been at least 2 years since I've had a real dedicated space for creation and art, and it's been tough. I'll just say that when I don't create and draw and paint, or have at least an outlet for any particular creative project, I suffer and I feel it damage my spirit. I've recently moved into my new home and even more recently set up my new studio space. And although the studio isn't completely finished, it is finished to the point that I can use it and finally get back to doing the things that I'm passionate about. The other day, I was so happy and excited to have my own personal space back. I broke out the pencils and started drawing. And I was disappointed and embarrassed to see that my drawing skills had dropped a good bit since the last time I picked up a pencil. Now, I was never the best draftsperson in the world, but I felt that I was at least good enough, and I felt confident in myself and my abilities. But the other day, that changed. The proportions in my drawing were totally wrong, and that one drawing turned into multiple attempts. The drawings lacked confidence, and they weren't free the way that a drawing should be. But of course, the truth is that it wasn't the drawing's fault. It was mine. I was not confident or free in the way that I moved over the paper. Now, I actually thought this would be the topic of my first video back, but I realized that the loss of some drawing skill was really not that big a deal. Certainly not enough to center an entire video around. After a few days of study and reintroducing myself to the basic human proportions and drawing some of the exercises from a drawing instructional book, I felt that I was nearly back to where I was. I definitely want to be more positive than negative, but I realized as I was writing out the script for this video that the key point I kept circling back to was confidence, or specifically, in my case, the lack of confidence. And not just as that relates to my artistic pursuits, but these past few years, the missing time away from art had not only damaged my skills and my artistic soul, but the other aspects of my life. They say if you don't use it, you lose it. And that may be true, but what they don't tell us is that if you do lose it, you can get it back. Having not filmed myself in over 2 years and watching over the video now, I'm noticing how out of shape I've let myself become. I see that middle aged double chin beginning to form, and I've even been trying to arrange shots to disguise the fact that I'm just not the person that I used to be. And this very well may be subjective, and I guess it is. But from my point of view, I don't look good, don't feel good, and more importantly, I don't feel good about myself. And I haven't for a while now. But this is the first step back, diving back into my artistic pursuits and getting back to the thing that has always basically defined my identity. I'm afraid to start on my new drawing. And I know that that sounds maybe a little bit silly, but that's just the way it is. I marked the paper lightly, and I think too lightly. If I were confident in my ability, I could afford to be more bold and just go for it and lay my marks down and be secure in the knowledge that they would be right, or at least close enough. But I'm not there yet. It definitely feels good getting back into the studio and making something and completing it, even if it is basically just a sketch. It's not bad, and that's all I needed today. Just a reminder that I'm not bad. Not where I want to be, of course, but still acceptable given the circumstances, and yes, hopeful. Though I'm happy that I'm back drawing again and moving forward in the direction that I want. Unfortunately, I did not enjoy this drawing. I was too much in my own head thinking of the outcome and worrying about how the drawing would turn out instead of enjoying the ride and letting the drawing happen and being present in the moment during that process. And I think that special flow state where, where we just get lost in our work and trust that it will work out the way that it should, will eventually come back with my confidence. I won't even critique my drawing. It is certainly not perfect, and I have the belief that there's no such thing as a perfect drawing or painting. There's always something that could be done better. But I'm happy that it's done, and though it isn't what I wanted it to be, there it is. I'm looking forward to the next project, and I do have quite a few things planned. Hopefully, you'll stay tuned and see what I have coming up, and maybe you can pinpoint the moment my confidence comes back. You'll be able to see it in my work. Last thing, if you find yourself in a rut and it's been too damn long since you've expressed yourself creatively, please get it back. For your sake and for ours. This world needs more artists. Please keep drawing, painting, writing, making music, whatever it is that you do, keep dreaming and chasing. Thank you for watching.